The importance now of face-to-face marketing to a digitally addicted youth. It's a discipline that brands have to get right, otherwise they are dead in the water. They need to survive. It is a survival strategy. Sharing some thinking with us today from HDI Youth Marketeers, an expert in that space. Jason Levin, welcome. Thanks very much for joining us. Surely we are over-amplifying it when we say that this very important demographic is addicted to digital media. That is not the case, surely.
I think if you factor out to some extent rural youth, it's definitely the case. If you're speaking about even relatively poor township youth and suburban and urban youth, there's even in primary school kids, there's claimed in excess of 3 hours a day usage of the internet and social media. And that's given that they're in school for 6 or 7 hours. So it's a huge consumption.
What are they doing?
In teens and young adults, it's social media and instant messaging, which is considered an internet function. Students are also, thankfully, gratefully, using it for research and assignments. But kids are trawling it for fun and entertainment, and for games and music downloads is huge. It's the #1 use.
So it's the fun, it's the entertainment, and it's the gamification, which has become quite important. Yeah. It's critical then for brands to insert themselves into this stream effectively, seamlessly, and authentically. That's the strategy, surely.
I think authentically and it's an overused term already, and natively, because these kind of...
I have never heard that word, but it's interesting, yeah. It's got to become part of the stream of consciousness, in other words.
Yes, it has to feel natural. I mean, we over and over have quotes in focus groups and discussions about social media for us is social. It's not brand media. So if brands are going to be in there, they have to play smart, they have to box cleverly, they have to add value, and they definitely can't feel like the sore thumb in an engagement.
So how do you do that? What is there a holy grail here?
I think it feels like we've been doing it for a long time, but in relative terms, brands have been in social media for 6-8 years. It's a very short time. And everyone's still learning. I don't think there's probably 1 in 25 brands or 1 in 25 campaigns in social media are working well. And the ones that are working are the ones that are adding value. There is still value in clever incentivization and prize strategy. And those are the things that are getting good responses. You've
just preempted the next question. Is it about clever tone and language, or simply about giving people stuff? In other words, incentivize me as a brand and I will be loyal to you for a period of time.
I think you're right. You can win short-term loyalty and interest by just giving stuff away. But I think where we're seeing real longer-term benefit is where people are, also again an overused term, adding value. But genuine things like brands which have run internship programs online for young adults aged 19 to 23, where you can literally win one of 50 internships, that stuff's hugely attractive.
And engenders loyalty.
It does. And it creates engagement even for the candidates who don't end up getting in. It creates huge word of mouth for the ones who do end up getting in. And it's a genuine value add. It's not a short-term 6-week prize giveaway.
So Jason Levin, who's getting this right? I mean, what brands are on your radar screen?
Some expected and some unexpected ones. I think Nike and Converse are overquoted for what they do both on the ground and online. Interesting, brands like Cartoon Network are doing clever and amazing stuff for kids. Brands like Always for preteen and teen girls, both online and offline. Brands that are a little bit under the radar, doing nice stuff.
So where does this leave traditional marketing or advertising as we know it? Dead in the water? Or is there a symbiotic relationship?
Yeah, there's a symbiotic relationship. I think in those areas as well, brands are having to box more cleverly. A very clear understanding that old school, traditional big brand media like TV still play a role in establishing the brand and making it feel. I mean, we've also tested this where the television advertising still gives a brand appeal factor, and it really does. Perceived as very poor source of information, as you would suspect, certainly in terms of advertising, but a great builder of brand appeal and big brand feel. It works from that perspective, but not unless it's embedded in a broader face-to-face context and digital context. Young people are saying, and by young I mean right from kids to mid-20s, are saying they want to be engaged with brands on multiple platforms. Some of them, much of the feedback is face-to-face. But I mean, I don't want to discount the fact that an amazing ad campaign can still resonate and create word of mouth.
But what you're telling me, that's almost just the starting point. There's more to come in the social media dynamic after that.
Yeah, definitely. And it's, I mean, the 80s and 90s thinking of you lead a campaign with a huge epic TV commercial and everything else slots out in below that is really becoming inverted, if anything. TV, if there's money left over for TV, pop some in there. But
just finally then, so we've got WhatsApping, we've got Facebooking, we've got tweeting, Instagramming to this very important market. The brands themselves, or the agencies working on those brands, what kind of requisite skills do they need in order to make this happen?
I think more than anything, understanding skills. So there's enough specialists around for once you've got an idea that really is going to resonate or add value with your chosen target market to execute. The execution is no longer the problem. I mean, there's a million production companies who can do amazing commercials. There's a million digital agencies can execute clever stuff online. But where we see most of the missing of the mark is not in the execution. It's a fundamental understanding of the market and creating an interesting value proposition for the market. The execution is sometimes good and sometimes bad, but far and away we think the flaws, where there are flaws, sit in the understanding and the solution that's being posited rather than rolled out.
It's all about the insights.
Yeah, there's still not enough scratching, unearthing for the human truth. A boardroom is a dangerous place from which to view the world, and so is an agency. They're highly rarefied, removed environments on the whole.
Jason Levin, thank you.